Welcome, everybody, to Funeral Nation episode 53. I'm Ryan Thogmartin. That is Jeff, the funeral commander Harbison. Jeff, we are back in full swing. Last week you were traveling right after an FDA, working remote, and I'm still in our new office here, so it's good to see you back. And, we're blessed to have this platform, man. We're making a huge difference, and this is just another episode that carries on the tradition.
Yeah, in fact, it's interesting, Ryan. We are starting into our second year, of this show, and it's getting more powerful and greater reach than we ever expected. And speaking of which, the reason this show comes to you is because of the Fast Funding Group, which has American Funeral Financial, C&J Financial, and Funeral Funding Center. Those guys, Jamie, Chuck, all their team, they're fantastic. We had a little fun. We have Jackie Williams live at the show, and she got more views than Chuck. So I think we have a new star out there. But either way, we're grateful for those guys to power the Funeral Nation, and you can visit them by going to cjf.com, AmericanFuneralFinancial.com, and FuneralFundingCenter.com. Got to get your money, folks. It just ain't that hard. So on today's show, we're going to have another high-profile guy, Poul Lemasters, to talk to us about his charity. Our spotlight's coming from Tennessee, and WTF has all the things to do with right-of-way to intersect. So, Ryan, you know that there's some big old buzz going on now. It's all over your site. What's happening?
It's a big deal. Batesville Casket Company announced that they officially announced to connecting directors that they are closing one of their wood plants. And this cuts 200 jobs, which is a big deal. It'll officially close March 2017. So I think it raises a number of questions, and we've seen it on Connecting Directors creating a lot of buzz this morning. And I think, Jeff, you'll talk about some of the concerns and questions that are being raised by there hasn't really been an explanation. They're closing the plant.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've pulled your site up, connectingdirectors.com, on your announcement today. And I don't know if it's surprising. However, what is surprising is the great discussion about the Batesville brand North Star, which is their brand they distribute through local distributors. However, I think there's some gaps of what we're reading here. Certainly, they're closing the plant, which is disappointing in the United States and shipping to Mexico. But is this something foretold to come from the metal side? Is that going to happen? So we would love to have somebody from Batesville come on and chat with us a little bit, kind of clear the air. So the door is open. You guys come chat with us.
That's right. It'd be fantastic to have somebody on and answer some of these questions. And it does sound like from the release that obviously in the announcement that Batesville is being hit hard on the casket sales side, especially in the wood due to cremation. At least that's where they're putting a lot of the blame.
Yeah. Well, that's reality now. And so the other piece of this story is, what do we do? And how do we make that happen? And how do we captivate the hearts and minds of families to look at embalming and using all sorts of different caskets and celebrating a life? So end of the day, this is a continuum of what the funeral profession is facing. And it's time that we start addressing some of these things and work together collectively for the solution. But what do I know? Oh, Ryan, man. Hey, look, we got the More You Know minute here. And this is where we're getting information and or questions about our both professions. You as a media consultant guru, and me from a financial consulting side. This comes from Melissa in Ohio. She asked, should my Facebook account be attached to my Twitter account?
So, no, and here's the reason why. They're two completely different platforms that require two completely different messages. The way you structure a Facebook post is not the way that you structure a Twitter post. In the Twitter sphere, you've got hashtag heavy. You can attach images and videos that with Facebook or with Twitter's algorithm appear differently in the feed, the same as they do on Facebook with Facebook's algorithm. So if you're automating a Facebook post to duplicate onto Twitter, it's not going to be crafted correctly to get the most value out of it. Now, if you're in a situation where you just want a presence on Twitter, which if you're not going to actively engage there, it doesn't make sense to just have a presence for the sake of having a presence other than a little bit of SEO juice. So absolutely not. Take the time to craft two separate posts. They can have the same message, but they needed to be craft specifically for each network because each network requires different storytelling.
There you have it. The words from the funeral social media guru at disruptmedia.co, Ryan. Hey, look, I'm excited to announce our guest, Poul Lemasters. A lot of people know him, but let's go ahead and roll that tape. Hey, Paul, welcome back to the Funeral Nation show. If you will, please reintroduce yourself and tell us a bit about your funeral law and consulting background.
Well, thanks for having me back. I'm glad the show's still up and running, even though you've had me on there before. So that's good. Kudos to you guys. Paul, I think a lot of people have come to know me now, but my background, I'm a funeral director and embalmer, became a lawyer, and as far as people know, I'm doing both of those still, and just working entirely within death care and enjoying it.
Fantastic. Well, Paul, you organized an annual coat drive in Cincinnati. Yeah. Give us some background on that, how you got started, and how the funeral profession can help out.
All right. So it was kind of one of those things. We did it with the kids, my son and daughter, Max and Chloe. 7 years ago now, we decided. I said, we have a lot for Christmas. We should be thankful. We should share. So we decided to take a little bit of the money that we would have spent on ourselves, bought some brand new coats, and then we donated them to a local charity, St. Vincent de Paul. And then the kids really got a lot out of that. So the next year they said, can we do it again? We said, yeah. And we actually put a little more money in. And then I started trying to raise money, and it's grown every year. Last year was our biggest year. We raised enough money between what we raised and what I donated through Lemasters Consulting. We bought 701 brand new coats. Wow. Donated them. We bought hats. We bought gloves. We bought blankets and donated all of it. It was our biggest and best year ever, and we want to grow it again.
That's fantastic. It's interesting. I was going to ask you how many coats that you guys had last year. On this drive, will you give us some parameters of you're starting it now? What's your last day, and what day do you actually end up buying and distributing? So what's your last day of raising money, and then 2, what's your day that you distribute to families?
Fair enough. Well, our goal was to have all the money by November 25th, which is the day after Thanksgiving. And the reason is on Black Friday, that's the shopping day. We have worked every year with Old Navy. I'll give them some props. We get a 50% discount on everything we buy. This year, we're in talks. Hopefully, they'll give us a little bit better discount, even more so. But we go shopping on Black Friday. We take a crew of people now, about 10 people, and then we spend all morning and into the afternoon shopping for these coats. So we accept money all the way up to then. This is a pretty exciting year. We've applied. We believe we're going to get approval to be a recognized 501c3 charity this year.
Wow.
So taking it a step up, and so it just continues to grow. What's pretty amazing is we've actually gotten phone calls now from other local charitable organizations asking if we can push some of our coats towards them. There happens to be a local school, a school is just a lot of poverty within it, and they've asked if we could donate somewhere around 75 to 100 coats to their school. Some of these kids don't even have coats during the winter, so we're upping it. We're shooting for I'd like to get to 800 this year, and we're gonna take care of some other kids this year.
That's fantastic. So once you purchase the coats on Black Friday, how do you actually distribute the coats and hats and gloves?
So it's what we do is we get all the coats. We have a bunch of cars. We bring them home. We have to store them. We don't distribute until the first Saturday in December. That's where the main event is done. And we basically we rent a U-Haul, and we show up with a giant U-Haul. We're gonna have video this year. We're gonna make sure people see where their money and where these coats go. But we'll have a U-Haul and donate these, and it's an amazing event. It really is.
Wow. We know last year the Funeral Nation was just getting started, and we participated with the coat drive, and we want to get in on this again this year. How can we participate to increase the blessings you're providing to the participants?
I love it. You guys were awesome last year. You helped us raise some good hard cash, which is what we need, because one thing that's a little different is when people hear coats, a lot of people have said, hey, we'll donate coats, and that's fantastic. We actually take the money because we want these kids to have brand new coats. We don't tags on them. We don't want them to, go through. We want them to shop. We want them to see, hey, this is their first coat. So what you can do this year, obviously anybody wants to donate money, they can go to Lemasters Consulting. We have a page. They can click on it, make a donation. The other thing we can do, we actually, all of our merchandise that we have put together at Lemasters is all for charity. So everything we sell, that money goes right into the coat drive. So this year, last year, and this is huge, you guys helped us really push our Corpses of Templarity. For everybody out there who knows or doesn't know, Cards Against Humanity is one of the greatest, unbelievably awkward games you can ever play. And we created the death care version called Corpses of Templarity. And a matter of fact, this is what that version looks like. Nice little casket size, Corpses of Templarity. First edition, we did 100 cards. After you guys talked about that game, our sales went through the roof. I had to reorder those a couple times, and everybody said, when is the next set coming back, and will it be more disturbing? And we have delivered. We have created the second set, version 2. It is the casket oversized edition, volume 2. There are 200 cards in this set, and it is slightly more disturbing, I will give you. So all of those that we sell will go to charity. If somebody goes in, buys a set, $25 for one set for the small set, $35 for the large set, and I think $55 for both sets combined. All that money that comes from that goes towards the coat drive.
Excellent.
Fantastic. So we're obviously going to help spread the word through Funeral Nation. If somebody wants to participate and donate to the coat drive, how can they do so?
So again, if they go to the website, lemastersconsulting.com, there's a link, and they can do it right on the webpage. They can put in their credit card. Don't worry, the credit card doesn't come to me. It's all, legit, lawyerly in the site. They can mail a check. They can buy merchandise. And then the other thing, just, I always like people to know I'm in it with them. So 2 things I do. Through Lemasters Consulting, the first thing we do is, and dollar for dollar, we've been able to match what we did. Last year, we raised a little over $10,000. Lemasters Consulting donated a little over $10,000 to make it even bigger. We're prepared to do it again this year. I've already talked to my kids. They're willing to quit eating if I can't buy the food anymore. So, I always say break us. We want it to be huge. The other thing we do is if you go to that same website, Lemasters Consulting, we put out forms. All those forms until Thanksgiving, they're free. If you type in the discount code COATS, COATS, all caps, COATS, you can download one of those forms, and it's free. I'm willing to give if you're willing to give.
Excellent. Well, that's something I think we're going to absolutely do with our FNers out there, and we'll create something kind of special here as well to participate. But you're another story of what we do well in our profession, and we're grateful for that. So we'll check back in with you probably just after you do your distribution. We'll also take some of that video and post it up too. So FNers out there, you can look forward to ways to donate on top of what he has, and we'll be getting information out to you. Let's keep those kids warm, and thank you, Paul, again, and your family for what you're doing.
Appreciate you guys and all the FN Nation out there to helping out. It's been great, and we'll just keep pushing.
Excellent. All right, Paul. Thank you, sir.
Take care, champ. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.
It's fantastic that we're able to help out with the coat drive. Jeff, you and I will come up with something clever that we can do inside the Funeral Nation to be able to donate to that charity. But I want to mention real quickly the Corpses Attempt Hilarity. So Paul visited our office and gave each one of us a set of the original 100 cards, and it is absolutely hilarious. We have a blast playing it. So if you're looking for a great gift for that special someone who likes to be slightly disturbed around death care, or that special funeral director, make sure you pick up the new set, because I imagine that Paul over-delivers on this one as well. But the interview segment was brought to us by Sitch Caskets. These guys blew it out of the water at NFDA with their flash mob to kick off the convention. They are really disrupting the way that the distribution model and the way that we typically buy caskets in the funeral profession. So make sure you check them out. Roll that promo.
Funeral Nation is sponsored by Sitch Casket, importers of premium hardwood and fine metal caskets created exclusively for the North American marketplace. Is it a Sitch casket or one of the top U.S. brands? Only your accountant can tell the difference. Visit Sitch Casket or contact your Sitch distributor.
All right, Jeff, who is our spotlight going to shine on today?
We're excited to have the spotlight back, and as everyone knows, we like to share positive stories and shine the spotlight on funeral directors and professionals making a difference in their communities. This week, we shine the spotlight on Randy Nash and his staff at Springfield Memorial Gardens Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Tennessee. A traveling memorial honoring veterans, Vietnam veterans, stopped in Springfield, Tennessee for 3 days this past week. The moving wall was made to be a half-size replica of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial that sits in Washington, D.C., which lists each name of the soldier who died in the war. Randy Nash said, "We were honored to host the moving wall, grateful for our veterans and employees who volunteered their time, and our great community for showing their support by the thousands. The participants of the tribute ceremony on Saturday and to the writers and escorts who helped bring it in last Thursday." I think this is particularly exciting, poignant, and right on the mark because this is Veterans Day this week, I believe, which is Friday. So another example of funeral professionals honoring the people that serve our country. So my salute to you guys out there, and thank you all for the work that you're doing.
Fantastic. So this spotlight segment was brought to us by, sorry, Jeff, I'm jumping the gun there a little bit. Sorry. We moved from the spotlight segment into our WTF segment. And this is where we take a lighthearted look at something humorous in the funeral profession, where we can kind of poke fun at ourselves or poke fun at others, maybe lightheartedly. But, okay, Jeff, when you see this headline, it makes you think, what the funeral?
Yeah, it's sort of like who's got the right of way here? I don't even know what to say because this is up to date. We see the five guys back there. Is this delivery gone bad? Is this a joke, or is this something that looks real? It looks pretty real to me. So hopefully this is a mistake, but lack of a better word, what the funeral? Could you imagine sitting there at the intersection?
No. So this falls out of something, or this could be one of those like Halloween prank deals, but I don't know, man. Whatever the situation is, that's not what you want to see in the middle of your intersection when you're traveling through town.
No, I'm going to go back to training, guys. Make sure that door's secured in the back.
That's right. Lock button on the remote. Click, click. So, all right. WTF segment is brought to us by Disrupt Media and the Disrupt You Show. Roll that promo.
At Disrupt Media, we're a social media content agency that focuses on storytelling for funeral companies. We use real stories to build creative strategies that achieve actual business goals. Want to learn more? Visit disruptmedia.co.
Well, Jeff, this wraps up episode 53. It's time to focus on 54, and we'll be fresh into just plugging our way down to year number 2. And
Yep.
what can we look forward to for next week?
We're excited. We're going to have Stephanie Ramsey from the Foresight Companies in to talk to us about the upcoming Department of Labor overtime changes. This is going to be a big show, too. Pay attention. It affects everybody in the funeral business. Whether you're an owner or you're an employee, you better pay attention to what's going on out here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, folks, that's 53. It's over. It's done. We move on to 54. Remember to engage with us, and please be watching this week as we will be announcing what Funeral Nation can do to get involved with the Masters Coat Drive, and what we're going to do on our end from Funeral Nation in support of you guys to help support that great charity that one of our own in the funeral profession is doing. So make sure to check out Funeral Nation TV on Facebook, facebook.com/Funeral Nation TV. Please engage, please engage, please engage. All right, brother. Until next time, have a great effing week.
Out here.